Hello and welcome back to the Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker. We are continuing Act 2.
Midnight each day.
On Valentine's night,
Time as you know it freezes.
Hey,
20
Akash.
minutes past 10. Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home,
David is my husband.
all on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death.
When I'm dancing,
You get this day over and over.
Hilda,
I black
I
out,
don't think she's got long.
And Laurie just...
naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Hey, Paul.
Is that it for today?
I don't know where it's going to put us, actually. Ah, no. Exactly back where we were. Good. So, Mariana... although I can't do any more hints on her, so... we're back to... Elin. It's a Lupte. Oh! Hang on a minute. Oh no. I just went into the things I've already answered. I went, oh, I've got all these questions. No, I haven't got all these questions to ask. Okay.
It just sort of fades when I let go of their hand. Obviously, I can't see myself, but I feel it leave me. If you get what I mean.
Hello, Spooky Mist, and thanks for the follow. We are halfway well, I say halfway through. We're most of the way through Act 2. Just trying to figure out what remaining questions. So that's the date. Okay, so we've got illusion and what were you doing on Valentine's Day? Valentine's night, even. So there's just those two left. Okay, let's get a hint. Ah, she needs to hold hands. So I'm just gonna write you. Need to hold hands.
It only lasts for as long as I'm holding the hand. I think it needs that connection.
Okay. Ah, right, okay, so that should get rid of illusion. Okay. So...
Actually, I had a hot date. It wasn't anything serious, just some guy I know. But it was a nice date. Different to what I'm used to.
What sort of date are you used to?
I don't know. Sorry.
Damn, that's not obviously the right phrase. What time was her date? Yes, we could try that. So that was Max. How was the date different? Okay, so yeah. What time was losing my voice here. Your date.
That's not really important. Ask me something else.
Oh. Let's just get a hint. Ah, was she lying about looking for... Oh, yeah. Damn, yes. Were you lying about looking for Because that was what she said on the first day.
I didn't lie. I'm really not interested in dating anyone. I just went out with Max as a favour for a friend. Like I said, it wasn't anything serious.
Okay, right, well now she's green. Claire. Right, what have we got left with Claire?
Do you think I killed my parents?
Yeah, we've still got that one.
I was a young woman in possession of an enormous fortune. Lots of people, lots of men, saw that as an opportunity.
I could ask how. Young. Where? You?
I don't know anything about that.
Ugh,
Perhaps you should be
fine.
taking more notes.
Hey, Jessie. Okay, so I asked about new friends, and I got. Do you think I killed my parents? Toughen up. What else? Exclusive circles. It's all on the whole. Parents, friends.
Dr. Dekker made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I'll be taking it to the grave with me, though. As the tea.
Offer? You surprised you picked a game without achievements? Descenders, is that that's the cycling game? It's in preview. It'll get achievements at some point. What am I trying to ask? I'm going to ask what offer. And see if that triggers something.
Dr. Dekker was more animated that day.
Oh, there we go.
Excited, even. He talked a lot.
We did see it at EGX. Okay. I'm going to ask excited?
Instead of his usual sarcasm and rebuttals, he seemed genuinely excited. Presumably he had a date.
Okay, so that has cleared up. What did you talk about with Dekker? Where is David today?
David wasn't there. Or at least I didn't see him. I didn't go inside. I forgot my key, and the spare was missing.
I'm going to ask about key. See if that triggers
I'm sure I had a spare key for the
Aha,
lake house, but
okay.
I can't find it anywhere. I don't really need one if David is around.
Is Max Dr. Dekker? Who's Max? Yes, you can cut the brakes, get rid of the path, and make, like, switch stuff out. We were doing that during the stream. It was funny. Okay, so I forgot what
I'm
you
sure I
said.
had a spare key for the lake house, but I can't find it anywhere. I don't really need one if David is around.
I'm assuming someone's taken the key. Useful to remember. Okay, so right, that's got rid of that one. What did you do at that lake house? And how are you? Oh, but God, there's a ton.
It's the anniversary of
Oh.
my parents' death today. I went to the lake house. I always go to the lake house anyway, but it's also where they died.
Okay, I'm going to ask about lake house. And I'm guessing that's also linked to the do you think of my parents? I think there's probably another question there somewhere.
I stood for a while, looking across the water. It's peaceful there. It's the place that makes me feel the most. There was a girl there, by the lake, only about 9 or 10. She was fishing, if you can call it that, with one of those nets on a stick.
It's a good movie. It always confuses my mum, which is funny. We've watched it like several times now, and she still can't quite get it right. I'm gonna go with who was the girl actually. Who was the girl?
I don't know why I talked to her. She looked sad. I don't usually talk to children.
Yay, mate. Cool. Okay. Ask about peace, because she said it was peaceful.
Sorry.
No.
I don't know.
Let's try peaceful. And then if that doesn't do anything, if no one has any ideas, I'll get another hint.
I don't know.
Right. Any ideas? Where's the asterisk? Oh god, there's about 1 billion of them. So the do you think I killed my parents? Her about toughening up with the men and the fortune. Exclusive circle. So I think they're all related. And the beginning it was how are you today and what did you do at the lake house? So there's quite a bit to unpack. Did she hate her? That's a good question. Nice one. Did you hate your parents?
Are you bored? Do you want me to talk about something else?
David wasn't there that she saw. That's what she said at the beginning. Why doesn't she usually talk to children? Okay. Why? Oops. Don't you usually talk to children?
I don't have an answer for you on that one.
Okay. I'm gonna get a hint. Where did the girl come from? Didn't we already ask that? Okay, fine. I asked who she was, but... Where did the girl come from?
She lives on the other side of the lake. She must be new. I haven't seen her there before.
Okay, so that's not got a thing anymore. So that's got rid of the lake house one. How does the lake house make you feel? Whoops. How does the lake make you feel?
I see what you're trying to do, but I really don't know anything about that.
Do you miss your parents? Good question.
Sorry, I don't know anything about that.
Okay. You're going for cliche questions. Well, let's get another hint. I should answer yes or no. Well, I did try and answer that. I'm just going to go with no then.
Perhaps we should change the subject. You seem to be struggling.
No. I don't think you killed your parents.
It's okay if you think I killed them. You wouldn't be the first to draw that conclusion. People can be so cynical. I'm used to it.
I'm going to grr at that because I said, I don't think you killed your parents, and what it needed was a no! Oh my god! That is irritating. Okay, so that got rid of new friends. Still got toughen up. Exclusive circles. And how are you today? Maybe I just want to ask about feeling?
There's very little I'm not willing to talk about, Doctor. But I'm afraid I don't know anything about that.
Okay, alright. How do you feel? Maybe a bit more specific. How do you feel?
Sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, it is moments like this that are annoying. Was she close to her parents? Ugh, okay, fine. Were you close to your parents?
Yes, I loved my parents very much. They were very good parents. It was hard letting them go.
Okay, maybe if I'd asked, did you love your parents instead of did you hate your parents, it might have worked. But yeah, it's pattern matching's not perfect. Okay, so still toughen up, still exclusive circles. Ah, but that got rid of how are you today. Let's listen to exclusive circles again.
I don't move in any circles anymore. Those people were my parents' friends, not mine.
What if I asked? I asked about new friends. I asked about friend. I'm gonna say who were your parents' friends?
I've known David forever. It
Oh,
seems
okay.
like he's always been in my life, one way or another. It was a family friend. It's different now, of course, to when I first met him. I felt like he was protecting me then, watching over me. Nothing could hurt me when he was there.
Okay. That was an interesting response there. So that got rid of something. That got rid of exclusive circles. Okay, so toughen up is the last one. Let's just get one more hint. I asked about her fortune. That's irritating. What do you mean by enormous fortune?
Yes, money. Everybody wants it, but what use is it really? Look at me. Am I happy? Am I loved? Am I living?
Okay, that's kind of... Right, I just asked about fortune. So that's irritating. Okay. Mariana's still missing something. Healing Claire, Bryce, and Jaya. Okay. I don't think she's got any other questions. This one's still got trustee. Yeah, good day, just, you know, tired.
think I'm going to get into trouble now. Have you ever heard of secret shoppers? Well, Professor Alderby posed as a patient to test Dr. Dekker. It's just a thing that he does. I'm sure he'll come and visit you at some stage, so please play along.
Did Dekker no, it was a test.
It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man.
Yeah, that's not what I asked. What does she think about chaos? Okay, I'm just going to ask about chaos.
I don't know about that,
I spelled
Doctor.
chaos wrong.
Nobody likes chaos, Doctor. We're supposed to be restoring order, don't you think? This practice is owned by a trust.
I asked about her getting into trouble.
They make all the money and leave me to make all the decisions, which generally means making lots of money. I headhunted Dr. Dekker. And you?
Okay. I'm going to ask about money.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Alright.
Sorry.
And then I'm going to ask about decisions.
I don't know.
Why? Dekker.
It hadn't even been a year.
Why me? Yeah. Why did you... Whoops, too many O's. Choose... me.
I don't know anything about that, I'm afraid. I'm not trying to hide anything. I just don't know.
No, this game is terrible at this game. What does she mean by headhunted? So that's basically what we asked, but just phrased differently.
I've recruited the last 5 doctors since I've been here. Now I've got a flair for recognising the extraordinary. Both you and Dr. Dekker were extraordinary.
No, I'm still going to keep it at a 5, Jessie, because it's a good game. I'm just really want to get everything to go green, so yes, I'm going to go 5. Doctors?
Sorry, Doctor.
Okay.
I don't know.
What happened to the other doctors? Happened to the other... Whoops. Doctors.
I think you might be barking up the wrong tree there.
Did you buy Dr. Dekker, AB? Cool. about gods, because I'm not typing out Professor Bloody Alderby.
Everyone has to believe in something, don't they, Doctor?
Yeah, that's a good point. The credit. Just gotta figure out how to. I'm just gonna ask about previous doctors.
I can't help you with that, sorry.
It's just phrasing.
I've recruited the last 5 doctors since I've been here. Now I've got a flair for recognising the extraordinary.
See you later, AB.
Both you
I don't think
and
it'll
Dr.
spoil
Dekker
anyway.
were extraordinary.
It's all randomly generated.
I've recruited the last 5 doctors since I've been here. Now I've got a flair for recognising the extraordinary. Both you and Dr. Dekker were extraordinary.
Possibly, yeah. I'm going to ask about extraordinary.
Both Cambridge graduates, both
There we
top
go.
of the class, both pliable, obedient slaves to my every whim. Yeah, that last one's more of a hope than a must-have attribute.
Yeah, don't kill the chat, AB. Aha, right. Okay, so that was the last one. Whew, okay, so Jasmine, Lacey, Nathan, Mariana, Elin, Claire, Bryce. Okay, so Mariana still is missing as something. So we've got Bryce left. Creepy gravedigger guy who stripped a woman and took photos. Okay, did Catbot actually remove? Oh, bless. It's that. Well, you were insulting yourself. That's odd. Right. Yes, this guy is creepy. I don't like him, and we have quite a lot. Oh, is that why it did it? But yes. Hi, Ronan. Welcome to stream. We are doing okay. Trying to think of questions.
When I
to
first
ask
got the
this
hour,
guy.
I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen and only I could move, because I live on my own. What would you do, Doctor, if you had an hour where everyone was frozen? Go to a fairground?
Fairground we've already done. We could ask about live alone. Yes, let's go with live alone.
I live on my own.
There we go.
Occasionally I visit my father.
Hi.
He's in sheltered housing. Dementia.
Okay, tell me about your father. Fathers are always a thing, aren't they?
I live on my own. Occasionally I visit...
Okay, alright, there's no more on that one then. Still got a star.
I did think, what good could I do, other than catch up with work? I did see a woman who was having her purse snatched, so I gave her purse back. And the crook, I placed him on a bus a few blocks away. I have no idea where it was going. She'd never really be able to thank me, so I took another picture.
Keeps on talking about pictures. What do you do with the... Whoops. Damn it. Pictures.
I don't really know about that.
Yeah, he's really, really creepy. I'm just gonna ask a hint. Oh. Okay, what picture? Let's just try what picture did you take first. See if that will trigger it, because I gotta type out the whole thing.
I took a picture after undressing her. I put her clothes back on before time resumed.
And now we're talking about Jasmine.
To be honest, there wasn't much to take off and put on. Do you know what kind of girls walk around at midnight, Doctor?
Or are we talking about the... Oh no, it might be talking about the person he helped. Yeah, oh god. Basically, he took a naked picture of the person he helped and his neighbour Jessica. That's a good point. Did you move Mariana?
I have no idea what you want me to say.
Possibly. We still don't have a thing yet. Has he seen people come back from the dead? Oh, I guess that's about the coffin. Have you seen anyone come back from the shop, hospital?
When you work in a graveyard, you see a lot of strange things. I'm not sure if they're real, or whether I think they're real, or which is worse.
Does he go to the beach? I could just ask him about the beach. That's a good question.
Nope, I've got nothing.
Yeah. No, I'm wondering. Yeah, now you've said that, Jesse, I'm thinking that that's entirely plausible. Have you been to the beach?
Not something I know about.
No. Okay, that's not triggering anything. Okay. Have you hidden anything?
Sorry, Doctor, I dozed off there.
Have you moved or hidden anything during your extra hour?
When I first got the hour, I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen and only I could move. Because I live on my...
Werther's original, Paul. Damn it.
I don't know.
Have moved.
Moving things around and hiding things was amusing at first, when everyone was frozen. Some people would faint when things appeared from midair. Others would cry. Others just thought that it was there all the time and that their mind was playing tricks on them. It got boring fast, though.
Okay. Have you met Mariana?
No, sorry.
I don't know how else to phrase about the pictures.
When you work in a graveyard, you see a lot of strange things. I'm not sure if...
What strange things?
You're laughing at me, aren't you? I said I wasn't sure if they were real.
I wasn't laughing at you.
I don't have anything to say to that.
Ah, okay. I believe you.
Not something I know about.
Nope. Okay. You see, I asked about killing someone.
I don't really know about that.
The phrase was, would you murder someone? Perhaps say, I'd murder someone. I'd murder someone.
I don't think you would, Doctor.
Ah, there we go.
I don't think I would either.
Okay. Right. Okay, cool.
I took photos of Jessica when she was naked. When I'd stripped her. When she was naked and frozen. I didn't want to have to do it again, to strip her again. So I took pictures to remind myself what she looked like. That's wrong, isn't it, Doctor?
I definitely said that it was wrong. Yes, it's wrong to take those photos. What do you do with the... I don't really want to know the answer to this one, but I'm asking what he does with the
I
photos.
can't delete them. I don't know why. I haven't shown them to anyone else. Do you want to see them, Doctor?
No. I don't want to see them.
No, of course you don't. It's just me. I'm the sick one.
Okay. Will you stop tapping your damn watch? Okay, right. Thankfully that's that on there. Okay, so.
He told me to use my imagination, to make something up, to think something crazy, and it would become real. He told me to think of a way to get more time. So I did. But he pushed me. He made me think it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Imagination?
Thinking I had an extra hour at the end of each day did become real for me, Doctor. Maybe Dekker was a genie, and he could grant wishes. Maybe he wished himself dead. I don't know.
I asked about imagination. Well, it depends if she gets to Act 2. I mean, it did take me like 3 or odd hours to get through Act 1, though I was, you know, taking a long time. Yeah, I didn't think that they were planning on streaming it. It's fairly niche. Okay, so that's fault. How did
He was
Dekker
easily
change?
distracted during sessions, like he wasn't listening. I'm pretty sure he wasn't listening half the time. I don't think he wanted to know about his patients anymore. But when he did give you advice...
Oh, she did stream it tonight. Okay. I already asked what advice did he give you. Distracted. Let me try. Distracted.
Therapists are supposed to help you. For whatever reason, Dr. Dekker had given up the desire to cure my mind, and instead wanted to make me more unstable.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, one more.
No, the coffin wasn't empty. There was something in it. A decoy, I'd imagine.
Why would there be a decoy? How did you know it wasn't empty?
No, the coffin wasn't empty. There was something in it. A decoy, I'd imagine.
Do you think he faked his... One of the suggestions is head.
Sorry, Doctor, I dozed off there.
So, right, I'm just going to go for a hint. Ah, okay. Maybe the coffin contained. Oops. Ashes.
I'm a bit of a professional at this grave filling business, Doctor. I know a decoy coffin when I handle one.
Okay, right. Green, 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 green. Do you know Bryce?
Sorry, say that again.
Can't get any hints. But she's not green. Maybe it's just slightly bugged. If we can't get a hint, then I may as well just go on to the next day. Yes.
David Hunt,
I can change my skin.
then Skins.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients.
I had a hot date
We went out for drinks.
I took photos of Jessica.
Dr. Dekker did
on
phone
Valentine's Day.
and ask me for Nathan's number.
There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I?
He was preoccupied with finding
Photographs.
patterns.
Rocking chair.
I haven't been back to the beach since,
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident.
where I find something
I set fire
beautiful in the sea.
to Hannah's clothes in the garden.
I dug the grave.
I wish I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Dekker cursed me.
It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it.
Oh, Doctor, you surprised me. Reminds me of Officer Yates. Did I ever mention I had a special friend in the police force? Nah, it's not something you drop politely into a conversation. He's been doing some digging and he's found a couple things. There's a crime scene report that goes into all the gory details and another report that's about a patient you're seeing today, Claire. I'll put them both on the desk for you. And thanks for the grief counselling, by the way. It's really been helping, you know, I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, hug. Huh. Act 3, spiked. Ooh, I wonder how crazy we're going. Looks like we're about 98. I don't know if someone spiked a drink. The arrest report says Claire killed David. I've underlined some things to ask her about. I wonder if Bryce buried David. What happened with Ben? Ask patients about the paper spike. Too much to do today. I think they mean paper spike. Okay, so. Statement of Christian Weber, police officer 7691. Witness statement restricted. To the best of my knowledge, this statement is true. I understand I may be prosecuted if I've stated anything that I know to be untrue. Signed, blah, blah, date 9th of November. At 20:40 hours on Tuesday the 8th of November, myself and PC 9725 Holt responded to a call received from a neighbour of the Bower House, Western Park Avenue, concerning a reported disturbance. We arrived at the address and knocked on the front door, but there was no reply. We then examined the rear of the property and gained entry through insecure patio doors. We entered the property through this door, and I announced myself by shouting "Police," but did not hear any response. We searched the premises. Upon entering the dining room, I saw a female seated next to a man who was lying on the ground. The man did not appear to be conscious. Both persons were drenched in blood, and there was a substantial amount of blood on the carpet, walls, and furniture. I noted what appeared to be a steak knife on the floor, which was also covered in blood. At this point, I asked the woman to put her hands on her head, which she did. PC Holt secured the female while I checked the man for signs of life, but found none. I asked the woman her name, and she identified herself to me as Claire Castleford. I asked if she knew the dead man, and she said he was her husband, David Castleford. I asked what had happened, and she said that she had killed him. Following a search by PC Holt, which revealed no other persons present at the house, I said to Castleford at 20:52 hours, "You are under arrest on suspicion of murder." I then cautioned her and placed her in the back of a police car for transportation to Weston Park Police Station, where I relayed the circumstances of the arrest to PC 2354 Hill, who authorised her I don't have any more. Okay. Crime scene. Ooh, crime scene report summary. Case number 221-1084. Date 14th of February 2017. Title Doctor, first name unknown, last name Dekker. Position of victim. The victim was located in his office, seated on a chair behind the desk, soaked in blood with an obvious chest wound. Possible murder weapons. Paper spike, desk accessory, 150mm long, protruding from the approximate region of the victim's heart. Coroner's initial findings. Time of death. Estimated from liver temperature measurements to be between 8:30 and 10:30 p.m. on 14th of February. Note that the victim's body was reportedly discovered at 10:20 on the same day. Cause of death. Exsanguination due to punctuation. I'm not sure that's quite right. Of the left anterior descending coronary artery. Death would have occurred within minutes. Okay, so 8:30 and 10:30.
I've been to the lake house regularly, keeping an eye on David. I saw the girl again, the one I told you about. She was playing outside. It makes for interesting reading, doesn't it? I can tell you're dying to ask me about it. Fire away. That's what it says. I can see you're confused.
Uh-huh.
The police say that David is dead, fatally wounded when I stabbed him. The coroner says that David is dead. Everyone says that David is dead. There was even a funeral. But I know he's alive.
Ah, this explains.
He's buried at Henley Church. You can go see for yourself. There's even a headstone. One of your other patients was a pallbearer. I never forget her face. You should ask him.
This is weird.
David wanted to have a talk about our relationship. Not something any married person wants to hear. He said he'd been with Iris for about a year and that he loved her. He said he didn't love me more. Which I know is a lie. You don't just fall out of love with somebody. I reacted badly. I grabbed the nearest weapon I could find, which happened to be the steak knife, and stabbed him with it. There was so much blood. I instantly regretted it. So, I fixed him.
You fixed him? So, but if David's dead, who's skinning the animals? Or maybe she sees dead people.
It was about a week later. I brought David back to life. Not with
yeah, it's the
voodoo,
little kid, Dan.
not with virginal sacrifice. I just willed it to happen, and it did. Dr. Dekker told me it was possible, but only if you're not buried. He says once you're in the ground, there's no coming back. But until then, you have a chance at resurrection. Yes, resurrection. But now that I've seen the results, I don't think there's anything holy about it. I think reanimation is more an accurate term.
She made a freaking zombie.
Like I'm an evil necromancer raising things from the dead. I think his brain was already decaying during the week that he was dead. Important bits. So when I brought him back to life, I didn't heal him completely. Just gave him life in the state he was in. I mean, he's hunting and killing things and trying to roast them on fires he can only light with matches, but that's about it. He's your basic Neanderthal. So I have a problem. I'm being charged with murder because the police don't know he's still alive, and I can't get David to vouch for me for obvious reasons. I think it would raise quite a few more questions than answers, which is why I'm hoping that you'd be able to help me. Considering the circumstances, I'd be grateful if you could see your way to declaring me temporarily insane at the time of the murder, to lessen my sentence. Because I'm not a killer, but I can't prove otherwise. You don't still think I'm a killer, do you, Doctor? At worst, it's manslaughter. I didn't mean to kill him, I just stabbed him a bit. And although he was dead for a week, I brought him back to life. Does this mean you won't help me? Was I temporarily insane?
I think you're insane right now, but I'm just going to avoid the question.
Bryce was a pallbearer for David. He's also a gravedigger, I believe. Smuggling a body out of a funeral can be difficult, unless you pay the right people. It sounds to me as if Dr. Dekker's murder was a spur-of-the-moment thing. If you were planning to kill someone, you'd bring a weapon with you, wouldn't you? I imagine that the paper spike made a very good weapon, though. It could look quite menacing, glinting in the moonlight. So quick to jump to conclusion, Doctor. Obviously, I meant sunlight.
No, you said moonlight.
So quick to jump to conclusion.
I'm assume they know about the murder tool.
I'm going to pretend that I didn't hear that. Let's have a few more sessions before you seal our fates. Or is it that you want something else? Like Dr. Dekker did? Dr. Dekker teased me mercilessly about my eligibility. He didn't believe I'd reanimated David. Once, he presented me with a dead mouse and commanded me to give it life again. I didn't, of course. It's not something I'd throw around lightly. He changed his mind about me eventually. And then he mentioned the girl. He told me he'd locked up a girl in the basement of his house.
What?
Just for me. And he asked me to reanimate her. It was Iris. I said I couldn't reanimate something that wasn't dead, and he said that wouldn't be a problem. So I agreed. I just played along. I was hoping it wasn't real. I assumed it wasn't real. But he was offering me what I wanted. A temporary insanity diagnosis.
And now he's dead.
It didn't happen. Dr. Dekker called me from his house to cancel. He was furious. He said that Iris had escaped and he blamed me for it. He said that I must have set her free after he told me about her.
Why would she do
I knew
that?
it was all lies anyways. He was obviously titillating himself by reprimanding me. He knew I'd never want to speak to Iris again, so I couldn't prove it either way. Dr. Dekker asked if I could prove David wasn't dead, so I took him to the lake house. He saw that I was telling the truth. I can take you to see him too, if you like. Would you like to see David, Doctor?
Sure, let's go
Very
even more
well.
insane.
In our next session. You tell me. What could possibly explain that? I assure you, David is not a ghost. I've touched him. Since I brought him back, I felt that there was something different about him, something not quite
Twilight
right.
Zone.
I think it's his brain. But how ludicrous that you can bring someone back in the first place. It's like that book, Pet Cemetery.
Oh, Stephen King.
Funnily enough, he does smell of earth, but that's because he spends most of his time out hunting.
Stephen King is a most disturbing person.
If David doesn't exist, then that means that I really did kill him. He really is buried, and I really should be going to prison for a very long time. That just doesn't seem right to me. It's more probable that I reanimated him under Dr. Dekker's guidance.
Yes, that seems more probable.
How astute, Doctor. Yes, I did say I hadn't seen Dr. Dekker outside of our sessions. That wasn't a lie. Our trip to the lake house was made during a session. I didn't speak to her this time. Something about her made me feel uneasy. I just watched her from the bedroom window. She'd caught a fish. She was holding it in her hands. I wasn't close enough to see, but for all intents and purposes, it looked as if the fish bit her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I let it go again. Okay. Right. Nathan.
I burned Hannah's rocking chair.
Oh, yeah.
The day moved forward. It was a good choice. I'm not sure I've got much left of hers now. I've burnt most of it, or given it away, just to make the days move forward. There was a moment when I was attacking a Salvation Army bin, but I gave in.
I really feel sorry for him.
I accidentally put Hannah's diary into a Salvation Army donation bin. They're like huge post boxes with a circular tray that makes sure things spill to the bottom. I tried to get in to get it back, but I gave up. I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me, that she was going to break off the engagement, that she didn't love me anymore. I regretted it. I regretted that I mourned for Hannah so long. I regret the grief. I regret all the days I slept through because of it. Had I known she didn't love me anymore, things would have been different. I'm a bit angry now. If I had that day over again, I may just still pull out in front of the driver.
Did you pull out on purpose?
I don't know anything about that. Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore? And thanks for the dating advice, by the way. You told me not to look for anyone else until I was ready. So I didn't. I've just been sitting at home, reading Hannah's diary, stewing. I ordered a pizza. A nice girl delivered it. I've told you all I know about Dr. Dekker. He started out good, then turned a bit crazy towards the end. When you start giving people more problems as a therapist, that's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
I started out with depression. Now I seem to repeat days. Even if you don't
Bleak Blue
believe the
practitioner?
repeat days, then I
500
clearly
responses.
have extra mental health problems that he's given me. I think that he possibly cursed other people, a bit like he cursed me. Sometimes you could see he was bursting to tell me about it, but he couldn't. He was ecstatic with power. The curse. Well remembered. I was hoping you'd forget. It's going to sound crazy. Dr. Dekker said I would never be able to move forward until I came to terms with my grief. And so from this point on, I start to relive the same day over and over again until I made something of it. I believed him. I didn't want to believe him. I remember I said, you can't just say things and they happen. He laughed and laughed. I think he was going mad. He said he'd give me a demonstration. He held his hand outstretched and told me to look at the flame. There was no flame, and then there was. He was holding a flame in his hand that had come out of nowhere. And he tried to hypnotize me to make me forget it. I didn't forget seeing the flame. He wanted me to forget it all, but I didn't. For whatever reason, he couldn't undo what he'd done. I was scared. I pretended like the hypnosis had worked. I was scared what Dr. Dekker would do to me if he found out I still knew. So I had to play along. Keep coming to the sessions. Pretend I hadn't seen what he'd done.
Oh, excuse
It
me.
was awful, because I was suffering through the same days over and over again. But I couldn't talk to him about it, because he'd know. He'd become bored of me, so I got much of my insight from calls or messages he'd take during our sessions. I think because he hypnotized me, he didn't want to play with me anymore, so I got basic therapist. He told me lots of people get depression, to become more active, see more people. And although he wouldn't always be there to listen, Jaya would be. Yeah, I talked to her quite a lot. I'm not sure how many days of that she'd remember. She seemed to care, which is more I can say for Dekker.
I don't think she remembers any of it.
I didn't notice Dr. Dekker had a paper spike. I haven't really seen more than a foot in front of me since Hannah died. I didn't kill Dr. Dekker. I wanted to be as far away from him as possible. I don't know who did.
I think Claire might have, except that he obviously promised her the temporary insanity.
It took a
Why would
week
she?
of days to get that pizza girl to smile. And you know what did it? A tip, as much as the pizza cost. So money does make you happy.
Well, if you make as much as a pizza delivery person. Okay. Right, Nathan. Hello, Mariana.
I'm okay. Thanks for asking.
I love her dress.
It's rent day, and I always feel a little blue on rent day. Rent day is the day I pay rent to my landlady.
Isn't that normal?
I've had no blackouts, and I haven't been to the beach since our last session. But I think I will today. Do you want to come with me to the beach? Doctor, I think you're getting a little anxious. If you ever wanted to visit the beach, you can just turn up. It's not mine.
Oh, hang on. What happened to that?
You've got a good memory, Doctor. Let's talk dreams. Sometimes I'll dream about a light, deep in the ocean somewhere. I head towards it because it's warm and glowing, like a beacon. And when I'm at the bottom, it's the most beautiful thing. Like a welcoming sun. Like I'm home. And then I wake up. It's so beautiful. Calls me. It's like I'm in a trance. What does the dream mean, Doctor? I guess. I hate being in the same place for too long. Maybe I'm always searching for paradise or something. Dr. Dekker used to put my checks on that thing. I guess someone thought they weren't getting value for money. I actually don't have a lot of money. Sometimes a therapy check would bounce, but Dr. Dekker would be okay with it. Oh, my checks are fine though, don't worry. I'm not broke. Men buy me drinks at bars though. Sometimes I'll get away with not paying at restaurants. Isn't that how it is for everybody?
I thought you didn't drink.
I mainly like drive-thrus. I don't like crowds, and I find it difficult to stay in the same place for too long. I guess I'm a fidget. Crowds at nightclubs and bars are different. The lights are dim. You can slink around without attracting too much attention. Sometimes I'll kiss a guy in a club, and then he just follows me. Wherever I go. It's creepy. I don't want everyone seeing that. They follow me wherever I go. Anywhere. Where do you think they follow me, Doctor?
She's a siren.
It depends where they follow me. If they follow me home, they bang on the door for an hour or so, then leave. Other places, they just disappear. I don't see them again. They don't just disappear into thin air. I think they return to the place I found them. But I've not run into the same person twice. It's just good manners to accept when someone offers to buy you a drink. I'm a very good-natured girl.
I thought you didn't drink.
You'll have to ask me something else.
Yes.
Don't you think I'm sweet, Doctor? I think you're falling for me, Doctor. Don't let that get in the way of helping me.
Under the Skin. I don't think I've seen that movie.
Yes, they follow me home. They're silent, It's like a trance. There was one guy, a real gym buddy. I let him into the bedroom, but nothing. Nothing I did would stop him just staring at me. It was creepy. I got him to follow me outside, and then I just shut the door. Are we still talking about him? And I thought you were just interested in me, Doctor. Dr. Dekker suggested home visits. I think he was probably checking up on his investment. You're not thinking of doing home visits, are you, Doctor?
What do you mean investment?
That's good. I'm not sure I can afford any more of your time.
Investment?
Aren't we all your investments, Doctor? All the time, all the energy you've invested in us? Seeing how we're doing, making sure we're growing correctly?
What do you mean growing? Correctly.
He called it aversion therapy. Whenever I felt the urge to go to the sea, he would do something unpleasant.
What did he do?
You're not getting it.
Okay. Unpleasant. How?
I don't know what you'd call it, but it was unpleasant for me.
What did he do? Did... Oops. They... follow you to the beach.
They follow me wherever I go.
Okay. Alright, so Nathan, I've exhausted the thingies. Mariana. Hello, Elin.
I'm fine. Work's fine. Hilda's fading fast. Terry's Terry. Oh, you'd be pleased to know I don't have the locket anymore. I gave it back. All of it. Every single keepsake.
Okay.
You told me to. Well, not in so many words, but you said I shouldn't have kept them. And what with Terry going around telling everyone I stole them, I didn't feel like I really had any choice. The lockets, the watch, the ring. But I kept the little bird Sarah Dekker gave me. I wasn't supposed to mention her.
Sarah Dekker?
Dr. Dekker's mother. She was one of my first patients, but she died a while ago. Hilda's nearing the end. She's been sleeping a lot, not eating much. She hasn't been that argumentative either. Although, she did give me a vicious scratch yesterday. It was nothing. I was just trying to give her meds. It's hard, you know? I'm trying to help her, but she keeps fighting me. It'll be better after she's seen her daughter. I've decided I'm going to do it tonight. She hasn't got much time left. Terry seems to have backed down since I gave the keepsakes back. Actually, it doesn't seem like she's been very well. Not her usual self. Maybe she's got a bug or something.
Maybe you cursed her.
You know the answer to that, Doctor. What have we been talking about? What can I do for Hilda that will make it all better?
Your little morphing thing.
That's the plan. I know, it sounds unbelievable, like I'm making it up. I wish I could prove it to you somehow. We could try shifting now. Think of someone you really love. It might help if you close your eyes. Are you thinking of them? Can you picture them? Okay, hold on. Oh, sorry. I don't think it's going to work. On the bright side, that probably means you're not going to die anytime soon. It's tricky. I mean, I'll sound exactly like Hilda's daughter, but I try and keep it vague because I don't become her. I don't know what she would really say. I say things like, it's okay, don't be scared, I love you, Mum, or I love you, Dad. But it doesn't really matter what their relationship's like because it's not really them. I always do the Disney version. The best, most loving version. That's what my patients want to hear. And maybe deep down they know it's not the truth, but it's got to be better than the reality.
Okay, I just need the loot. Oh, remind me to ask about Dr. Dekker's mother and maybe who she turned into for her when I get back. I'm intrigued about that movie you mentioned, though. Kesh.
Does it really matter if it isn't the truth? Isn't it worth it if it brings them peace? Tell me honestly, Doctor, do you really think that what I'm doing is wrong? Good, because I really feel this is something I have to do.
Is it a movie where someone shifts?
It's true then. I'd heard Dr. Dekker was stabbed, but I didn't know for sure. It's weird that whoever did it would choose the paper spike.
Why is it weird?
Dr. Dekker used to play with it in our sessions sometimes. You know, pick it up, handle it while we talked. I remember once, he pushed the spike through his skin. At this bit, here, between his thumb and his finger. He said he didn't think I'd mind the sight of blood being a nurse and all that, but actually, there wasn't any.
You know how I feel about spoilers, Kesh. I don't mind.
I was a bit freaked out. At first, I thought it was a trick. A magic trick, you know? Like some kind of therapeutic test. Show the patient this retractable spike and see how they react. But it wasn't. The spike was real. Dr. Dekker gave me the paper spike to try. It wasn't fake.
Ah.
It was pretty sharp, actually. I don't know how he did it. He said he just thought that it wouldn't hurt him, so it didn't.
Maybe he stabbed himself. Seduces men for evil purposes. I like it.
As far as I know, it only works on people who are close to death. That's the whole point of it. I have to hold their hand, and they have to think of the person, and they have to be near death. And those seem to be the 3 criteria. It just makes things complicated, doesn't it? I knew Dr. Dekker's mother before I started seeing Dr. Dekker. She's dead, and now he's dead. I'm sure you're going to have a field day with it. Yeah, that's the reason I came to see him. I knew she was dying, but he refused to talk to me unless I booked a session, so I did. And well, here we are.
Okay.
I told Dr. Dekker that his mum was dying, that he should see her before it's too late. But he wasn't interested. It wasn't like he hated her. It was just like it wasn't important. He asked me to take care of it for him. He did send his assistant along to see her once. Sorry, your assistant. It was about the 2nd, 3rd session we had. He said he could tell that I was a good person, that I wanted to help people, and that I should think really hard about how I could do that. That's how I discovered shifting. All Dr. Dekker did was encourage me to think. But the shifting, that's all me. And my mum's a psychic, and my sister's an empath, but I was just ordinary. I always felt like I wasn't special, like I was missing out. But I wasn't. I just hadn't discovered what I could do yet. Sarah Dekker was one of the first ones I tried shifting for. I didn't really know what I was doing that first time. I mean, I didn't actually expect anything to happen. I just thought, what would really help this woman? I thought maybe she would just imagine that he was there. But it actually happened. I changed into him, Dr. Dekker. It blew my mind. My mum's got these spirit guides and they tell her things. Mostly about my love life, it would seem. To tell you the truth, I don't really know what an empath is. I should probably
Something to do
Google
with
it sometime.
feelings. Okay. Alright. Alright, I have questions for Claire. I don't really want to talk to Bryce.
Hello, Doctor. I've been thinking about our last session, and I just wanted you to know that I'm not a bad person.
You
I
are
know taking
a
naked
bad person.
photographs is wrong. But you don't know what it's like until you face the same temptation. I'm assuming you don't know what it's like.
No, and I would never
Do
do
you
that.
have an extra hour, Doctor?
I would like an extra hour to get an extra hour of sleep.
Thank God for that. There's someone else in my hour. A hooded figure. Watching me and following me. I followed it too.
Extra hour of sleep. Maybe gaming.
I don't know who it is. My initial thought was that it was you. That I told you about my affliction and somehow you'd got it too. Now I think maybe it's the military or some organization that wants to use the hour themselves. Maybe it's Dr. Dekker risen from the dead.
Oh, bloody hell.
I need to talk to you about him. I'm surprised I haven't been approached earlier. I mean, my skills in the military. Special ops would be a breeze, wouldn't it? Waltz in past everyone during the midnight hour, get whatever you want, and return to friendly soil. It also makes me think that they might already know all of that, and that they want to get rid of me in case I tell anyone else. Would you do something for me if they get me? Would you tell Jessica I love her? She didn't really know me that well, but I did love her. And also, there's a hard drive in the bottom drawer of my drinks cabinet. Please destroy it. Please, don't look at it.
That would be the photos then.
Whatever it is that's following me, it doesn't want to catch me yet. If I move towards it, it runs away. And when I follow it past temptations. A bar brawl, an open till, an open bedroom window. Like it's testing me. I split the brawl up. I did nothing. I'm not stealing anymore.
You're so indignant.
I looked in. Watching other people is somehow built into our genes, Doctor. There was an old woman in bed. I went inside. Her bed covers were smoking. I think she'd fallen asleep holding a cigarette. I took the covers and put them in the bath. She'd have died otherwise. And no, I didn't take any pictures.
Was she not attractive enough for you? Here's a peeping Bryce.
I'm actually a classically trained pallbearer. There are a lot of health and safety considerations. Not everybody can do it. Well, properly at least. Occasionally I step in if the funeral director is short-shouldered. I do remember her face. She wasn't upset in the usual way. She seemed agitated. Her husband must have been a giant. The coffin was so heavy. I remember because aft port side sprained his ankle. That and he wasn't lifting correctly. Nobody gave me the memo that Claire was telling everybody about our arrangement. Sometimes a few slip out the back for student use too. These things happen in all cemeteries. It's best not to broadcast it. I spied on Dr. Dekker, not long before he was murdered. I'm not sure I should tell you what I saw in his basement.
He rescued Iris!
I'd been feeling uneasy with Dr. Dekker for some time. I mentioned how he'd changed before, so I began spying on him at home. One night, the basement door was open, and Dekker was returning upstairs. I skipped past him, and there she was, a girl.
A woman?
It was difficult to tell. It was dark, and she was chained. I removed the chains, dressed her, and sat her in the police station. There's no evidence, though. No evidence of what he'd done. But she was free. I saved her. I'm not evil. I destroyed evil.
Destroyed evil?
Dr. Dekker frequently used that paper spike on his desk as an example.
Except that it wasn't
I'm sure he
Edward
did it with the
died.
other patients too. He'd make me look at it, touch the point to see how sharp it was. He'd tell me that because I think it's sharp, it will hurt me. But if I thought it was nothing, it could pass right through my hand. Jessica is a beautiful woman. I've not spied on her since the incident we talked about. I have real feelings for her, Doctor. We've never connected.
Then you should give it up. Lost cause.
I find using nautical terms to describe the position of pallbearers fitting. Plus, most of them are 3 sheets to the wind. You know, drunk.
I know what 3 sheets to the wind means, mate.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. It's nice you think I'm capable of such basic interaction with females.
Women.
But I'm still in awe of her, really. I will think about it, though.
At least if you talk to her, you'll be able to find out that she's not interested. And then
I
you'll
put
give
my
it-
hand through a rusty nail at work today.
Ow.
It hurt like hell and bled like I'd been shot.
Did you have a
I
tetanus
closed
jab?
my eyes and thought, this isn't happening. The nail is just a worm, and it will wriggle through me. When I looked back, can you guess what I saw?
A worm?
When I looked back at my hand, it was healed. Look, see?
Okay, that's creepy.
My hand had healed. The nail had become a worm and was wriggling in my palm. It was like a little miracle. Like magic.
Like chaos.
I shouldn't really say miracle or magic. They're words that Dr. Dekker used when he tried to get you to think things and make them real. But do you think it's real, Doctor? That magic is real? Then so it is. Close your eyes.
Stop getting me to close my eyes,
Imagine
everybody.
You're in a graveyard, looking at the gravestones. One catches your eye, so you take a picture of it, a picture that you now have.
That's creepy. Dr. Dekker. 1875?
Common or garden rocks. It's actually quite handy sometimes having an archaeological dig going on next door. Although I'd rather there wasn't.
I mean, I know it's a game. Right. Hello?
I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief counselling. I emailed you Mariana's address. I don't know why you'd want it. I suppose you're going to start doing home visits now, like Dr. Dekker?
Okay, no, that's creepy.
Doctor, if you don't want it, don't text me and ask for it. It's all right. I don't mind doing menial tasks for you. Someone has to do them.
Did I text her?
Yes, Dr. Dekker started doing home visits for Mariana. He said she couldn't concentrate properly in his office. I hope you're not thinking of doing the same thing. I need you right where I can see you. Checks and balances, Doctor. Somebody needs to be watching the watchman, so to speak. Make sure you're helping, not hindering. He probably did his fair share of helping and hindering. He was definitely helping in the beginning, but then seemed to lose sight of things.
I feel like I'm slowly going insane here.
I think he was so overwhelmed by the patients he was getting. His curiosity just got the better of him. There was a definite turning point. Somewhere around the time Professor Alderby turned up, that seemed to unsettle him. And then we had a flood of extra weird patients. I think it was all too much for him. I think I misjudged him. I hope you deal with it better. Grief is such a strange word if you keep saying it. Grief, grief, grief. It sounds like somebody's being whipped. Aren't you going to ask me how I feel today?
I think, didn't I do that at the very beginning? Alright. How do you feel today?
I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief count.
See? Told you. I'd already asked it.
I think that's all settled now. We are agreeing to pay Ben £5,000 and he's agreeing not to say anything about what he saw. He thought he saw a creature coming out of Dr. Dekker's mouth. Well, at least that's the reason he's given for not emptying the bins that night. Either way, it's not the kind of publicity that we need.
I would have thought
Shiny,
the dead body
happy,
was enough.
sane people. Some mornings I come into work and still expect him to be here. Sometimes it feels like he actually is here, watching over me. We had a connection. It's gone now, though. You can't have a connection with the dead, can you? Not for too long, anyway. Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially
No, it
with
wasn't.
competition like Mariana around.
It's not flattering, that's creepy.
Sorry, I didn't mean I was competing. I was happy Mariana was going out with him. I didn't want to be romantic with him. We had a stronger connection than that. Dr. Dekker and I shared some philosophy. We'd both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind, and we agreed with a lot of what it said. Have you read that book, Doctor?
No.
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples. It's not a fun read, but if you're into psychology, it's a blast. Psychokinesis is the ability to change the physical world without actually touching it, just by using your mind. It's not just about bending spoons. It covers all sorts of things like telepathy, telekinesis, telesabalas. Shoot
just
me,
made-
I'm a Kojak fan. Like I said, all those cool things are in Cult of the Kinetic Mind, apart from Kojak, obviously. If you ever get a patient who thinks they can change the world with just their mind, then duck, just in case they can. But seriously, do a whole load of shrinking and make them better. Whether you believe in psychokinesis or not, you'll need to figure out your approach with those that do.
Any advice?
How do you make people who think they have special powers better? Do you remain passive and support, encourage them, take them away? No, not at all in my experience. Dr. Dekker had an unusual number of patients who claimed psychokinesis. Either he'd been specifically looking for them or someone had been sending them.
Cthulhu!
It's entirely possible that someone is targeting this practice with psychokinetic patients. To what end, I don't know. It's no coincidence that most psychokinetic patients are diagnosed as insane, or at least temporarily insane. It's a handy diagnosis if you're facing criminal prosecution, especially if it's for murder.
Not subtle. Alright, so.
That's what I'd try to do. I was at home on my lonesome, Doctor, like I said before. It's in that police report that I gave to you. You should really take a look at it.
I did take a look at it.
Honestly, I think Dr. Dekker had a bit of a crush on Mariana, or vice versa. I'm not really sure. There's some footage from their home sessions if you want to see them.
Yeah. I mean...
That was a joke, Doctor. I guess we found our level.
Right. I want to see what the weird, uncomfortable thing...
That was a strange thing to say, wasn't it? Whipped. Am I all whips and chains in the bedroom or dominant in the boardroom? Don't answer that, it's not a question. It's early days for a harassment suit yet, what with Ben's nervous shock already. Dr. Dekker did send me to see his mother once. She was dying in a nursing home and he didn't want to see her. I remember him calling her a manipulative, evil old hag. You tend not to ask any more questions after that. I didn't really speak to Nathan that much at all, but I have this strange feeling that I know him really well. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Okay, who else have we got? Oh! Okay.
Professor Warwick, I'm a physicist. Where's Dr. Dekker?
He's dead, mate.
Is he really? Actually dead? Not a worthy adversary after all, then?
What are you talking about, mate?
Dr. Dekker challenged me. He tried to use my theories against me. Quantum theories. Do you really want to know? Dekker's eyes used to glaze over whenever we talked about that. He didn't believe in quantum physics. As if it's something that you can optionally believe in. Well, it started with an experiment. Have you heard of quantum suicide, Doctor?
Only because I think you said that in the thing.
Quantum suicide is a thought experiment that tries to explain the many worlds theory. You're looking at me blankly. I can see that you don't
understand the many worlds theory.
I knew you wouldn't. Alternate universes. Essentially, if I were to shoot myself, then in some alternate universe, I'd still be alive. Now imagine if I could actually choose that universe. I'm taking a product off a supermarket shelf. Well, I simply applied that logic to something different. Gambling. I set up an experiment whereby I would visit a casino and place a very large bet at a roulette table. Now, I would always bet on odd. Now, the results of this particular experiment were mundane. I won as many times as you would expect according to the laws of probability, but then I changed a parameter. Quantum suicide required a loss of life to make it a realistic thought experiment. So I simply upped the stakes. Now, every time I bet on odd, I would place everything I had on that one spin of the wheel, and it worked. Well, for a while. Why not gambling? My wife, Vanessa, left me for a neurosurgeon. She emptied our entire combined wealth into her barrister's wallet. I needed more money. Physics provided me with a solution. Dr. Dekker killed it, and I can't get it back. Well, my theory, quantum gambling. If the stakes are high enough, you will win every time by simply shifting your consciousness into that branch that wins. It's tricky, but it can be done. Dr. Dekker didn't like that. He saw me becoming rich and powerful, and he hated that. That's why he proffered the hangman's paradox. Well, imagine a judge sentences you to death. Now, it will be Monday or Tuesday next week, but it will be a surprise. Well, which day do you think you'll be executed? Well, Monday does seem likely, yes. Because If you're still alive on Monday at midnight, then Tuesday won't be a surprise. But if you're sure that it's Monday, then that won't be a surprise either, will it? Dekker tricked me. Now, he told me that sometime in the future I would lose a bet, that I would lose all of my money. Now, this didn't seem likely because I had quantum gambling on my side and it was working. But he unnerved me. He made me doubt myself. And then it happened. Recently, I lost everything that I'd managed to build up since Vanessa left me. Honestly? Well, I think he feared quantum physics. He didn't like things being explained in terms of science. Almost as if he'd have preferred chaos. We were married for 14 years, 7 months and 3 days. Vanessa couldn't have children, at least that's what she told me. She grounded me in reality. I'm not complaining. It's probably what I needed. But part of me always thought that one day I'd achieve immortality through science and we'd be... It wasn't to be, though. Well, yes, it bothered me, especially now that I find out that she's pregnant. Oh, no, it wasn't a rocket scientist that was required, but a brain surgeon, it seems. I have considered putting that neurosurgeon onto his darkest timeline. But I'm not a killer, it would seem. I was at a fundraiser for a charity called Mindstretch Outreach. Don't know how I got roped into that, I can't remember. But it was full of very clever children with bizarre outlooks on life. And Jaya. It was Jaya who asked me to go.
Okay.
It's full of poor kids with very capable minds. I did give them a talk on quantum tunneling once, and they loved it. Not sure it'll put dinner on the table for any of them, though. Oh, you're going to have to Google that, Doctor, I'm afraid. I'm not a walking Wikipedia. I'd love to tell you, but I am paying you by the hour. Maybe look up Schrodinger's cat whilst you're there.
Oh, no, I don't need to look up Schrodinger's cat.
Oh, she's Dr. Dekker's lovely assistant. I imagine she's your lovely assistant now. Yeah, she always smiles and makes me a cup of tea before a session. That smile. Which reminds me, my session. Can we talk about my problem now?
Yes, let's talk about it.
I'm not a gambler, Doctor. I'm a scientist. I need more money. It's true I've run out of money for my research. An opportunity has arisen. A very wealthy group of individuals have offered to pay me a very large sum of money if I attend their next private soiree. They don't want to talk or anything like that. They want a practical demonstration.
Of the quantum thingy.
They'll pay me £1 million if I can successfully survive 6 rounds of Russian roulette. Now, I am worried because of what Dr. Dekker said, but, well, I can't help but thinking that the stakes are so high I can't possibly lose. What do you think, Doctor? Should I take them up on their offer?
How many bullets are in the chamber of those things with the spinny? Yeah. It's impossible.
No, I suppose you're right. In a darker timeline, you probably said yes, and I'm dead now. I earn good money where I work. How do I stop losing it? I take your point. But I suppose to decide whether to continue gambling or to stop
the gun
gambling
could
is a
misfire,
gamble within itself,
but...
isn't it? Well, my time is up. Will we be having another session or... No, don't answer that. It'll turn you into a gambler like me. Infectious. Isn't it?
Hang on. I haven't finished talking to you yet. You buggered off? I was going to ask you about your research. God damn it! Oh. I'm 80% slightly mad, which is 160 insanity points if I'm calculating correctly. Okay. Does anyone have any new questions? Okay. Mind. What's the name of the charity? Mind Stretch Outreach. Yeah, cool, thank you.
Have you been taking notes in our session, Doctor? Perhaps you should check them?
Okay.
It took a week of days to get that pizza girl to smile. And you know what did it? A tip, as much as the pizza cost. So money does make you happy. It took a week of days to get that pizza girl to smile. And you know what did it? A tip, as much as the pizza cost. So money does make you happy.
Money. Stupid keyboard. Makes you happy?
If I cared about money that much, I wouldn't be working at a supermarket. I'm just trying to care about something at the moment.
Have you asked her out?
Sorry, drawing a blank.
Okay. How did he curse you? Diary.
I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me. That she was going to break off the engagement.
I'm going to ask about break. Off the bus, train, top, roadway, same. Engagement.
Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore? Thanks for the dating advice, by the way.
Okay. Fallen out of bed. Love.
Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore?
Okay, fine.
Ah, the curse. Well remembered. I was hoping you'd forget. It's going to sound crazy. Dr. Dekker said I would never be able to move forward until I came to terms with my grief. And so from this point on, I start to relive the same day over and over again until I made something of it. I believed him.
ask about grief. See if that triggers something.
Like I said, it takes something like a tragic event to move my day forward. I do more and more bizarre things to try and get things moving. It's a curse, like I said.
Might ask about Jaya.
Yeah, I talked to her quite a lot. I'm not sure how many days of that she'd remember. She seemed to care, which is more I can say for Dekker. Like I said, it takes something like a tragic event to move my day forward. I do more and more bizarre.
Alright, tragic event.
I intentionally cut myself. I publicly humiliate myself. I steal things. I hurt people around me, just enough to get another day to start. I
That's
ran out of people around me
destructive.
pretty quickly.
That's really destructive. So it's just the question about the diary then.
I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me.
Alright. Why did you read the diary?
I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while
Ah!
ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me. That she was going to break off the engagement. That she didn't love me anymore. I regretted it.
Oops. You still love Hannah?
Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore? Thanks for the date. I've got nothing to tell you.
Break off the... Oops. Engagement.
Can we maybe not talk about...
Shut up.
I've told you all I know about Dr. Dekker. He started out good. I read the last few weeks of Hannah's diary a while ago. I must have accidentally dropped in some clothes for the Salvation Army bin. It's funny, because I wasn't going to read it. She said she'd fallen out of love with me, that she was going to break off the engagement, that she didn't love me anymore. I regretted it.
Why didn't she love you anymore?
Can we maybe not talk about Hannah anymore?
Fine, hint. A when. Fine! Rah.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
When did you accidentally read the diary?
A few weeks ago. It's still sinking in. I suppose living a lie is just the norm nowadays.
That was literally it. When? Eesh. Okay. I'm going to ask about home visits.
Dr. Dekker suggested home visits. I think he was probably checking up on his investment.
Okay.
Yes, they follow me home. They're silent. It's like a trance.
I'm going to ask about trance.
They're in some kind of trance, like zombies. But I don't know what they want.
Okay. Silent.
I don't talk to them, they don't talk to me.
So simply silent. Fair enough. Okay.
Sometimes I'll kiss a guy in a club, and then he just follows me. Wherever I go. It's creepy. I don't want everyone seeing that.
Why don't you want everyone seeing that?
I don't want people to follow me. I'm not trying to get them to do anything. Crowds at nightclubs and bars are different. The lights are dim. You can slink around without attracting too much attention.
Okay, I'm going to ask about track. Attention.
Sometimes I'll kiss.
Nope.
I'm not a siren. It's just how
Asked
some
about
guys
kissing.
are. I tried it with a woman, too. She followed me. If a lot of people are watching, then it doesn't work. Nope. Nothing.
Okay. Do you want them to follow you?
I don't want people to follow me. I'm not
Oh.
trying to get them to do anything. I'm okay. Thanks for asking. It's rent day, and I always feel a little blue on rent day.
Feeling blue.
I pay my rent to a landlady. I don't own my own place. I'm just passing through.
Passing through.
I never stay in one town very long. I get bored too easily. Once you've seen the same faces over and over again, you move. Like I said before, I like to move around a lot. I don't know about that. I really don't know. They follow me wherever I go. Anywhere. Where do you think they follow me, Doctor?
Do they follow you to the bathroom?
They
Oh.
follow me wherever I go. Anywhere.
Maybe ask about the beach again.
Try again?
When did you move here?
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, my streams are getting longer. Do you have to go again? Because I'm getting frustrated with it, so I'm thinking that I'll probably call it, and we'll pick up. Yeah, have a safe journey home. Yeah, no, they are getting longer, but that's because the games are getting intriguing. But yeah, no, I'm getting annoyed. Let's think of fresh questions next time I stream, which may be tomorrow. Because I do want to find out what happens, and I can only stomach so much of people going, I don't know, and then me changing one word and them answering. So, yeah, I'm going to call it here. Let's have a look at what percentage we are. Okay. Fair enough, 64. Let's see how mad we are, and then I will call it. We are still 80% mad. Okay, thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. I've been Jo, otherwise known as Angel SK. I'm slowly going mad, and I will probably be back tomorrow with more of Dr. Dekker, if no one else is streaming, because I want to find out who killed him and what is happening, and it's really weird. So yeah, take care of yourselves, safe travels, and good night.